The sun was out and the snow had just melted. When it's like this, you can see everything because there's no scrub brush blocking view. The only thing blocking the views are the trees and the stumps. This camera is the SLR Nikon P900 with the 2000 millimeter zoom. Did not have my best day up there. I got stuff going on, was a little distracted. I mainly wanted to do the gifting and then check out the doing the double camera thing. So if they, they'll pay attention to me and have the second camera up on the deck. And it was beautiful weather to go up there, so I just had fun and walked around a little bit and caught something of interest. This is the original evidence I found hiking up, and there are a bunch of trees stuffed back up into these other trees, so the butt end is right there. This is behind the cabin. There was a spot where they had set up a nest, and then they tore it down the next couple months. But I had videotaped it originally. I felt I had violated their territory somehow. And so in that area, we're walking above it on the ridge. So basically civilization on your right and wild stuff on your left. A couple of cabins down there. Walking up on the ridge. We're going to take a look at the best evidence. If you got your tree structures, you got your tree breaks. You don't see too many 2,000 pound, 30-foot logs placed up into a tree. Inexplicable to see something like this so close to the cabin. Is right there. That's where the nest was. I took that as could either be a trap or a sign of domination. A trap is if they could have a family there. If somebody comes walking in, they push the tree over on top of them. Scare them off. I think they're more about scaring people off. In some ways, they may be a little bit timid. Is that a good word for Sasquatch? I never heard anybody call them timid. And then we can look over here. That's the same log that's been put on the ground. Now, it's about 20 yards away from where it was put in the tree. So the tree on the log was one of the first things I documented. When I first documented, I explained how I'd been there for a couple of years and I just did not register as something abnormal because it could happen. I think that was in one of my first videos. And then I started doing some gifting and they moved closer and closer. This is my best video. First, there are some sticks right by my firewood pile. They left me a pile of sticks right there, so I photographed that. I was just ready to get out of there, go home on another beautiful day, 2018. Zoomed in, and on your left-hand side, there's a little face. Right in the middle, right there. So in the back of that log on the stump, there is put a tree on top of that. Now we're in 2020. Again, a little off my game. I was just walking on the road because I knew a bear was around and definitely wouldn't sneak up on him, and had a knife and some bear powder. Just looking around. This is the cell phone, Galaxy S10 Plus. And I'm using it's a great zoom, but it's not as good as the camera. Saw something over here. I think it's like straight ahead there, a little bit to the right. Right there. You know, just did not move, so I went away from it pretty quickly. But that's something I'll show you later, close-ups of my best footage. That is, I thought I saw something. That's the third blind. They have set up 3 blinds and one new one closer, 40 yards away from the cabin. That's the break that's 40 yards away from the cabin. We can take a look at the backside, and there's a couple of branches on top. We are now looking at the gifting stumps, and there's another stick of cinnamon for them. Apples, peanuts, and a flower, because they like the flowers. Okay, here's the good stuff. Here, this is what they pulled that tree out of the ground, and they using it as a nest. Deserves further exploration. There is the what I was talking about earlier. It could be, if it's anything, it's a couple of them hanging together in the distance, and they've thrown pine needles on top of them, but you can kind of see a butt and the heel and the head. You know, 28% chance it's something there. That's my favorite number. Let's go up to 32% chance. It's almost a good chance that could be one of them in disguise again. This is probably nothing. Good old pareidolia, but it's the only thing in that area. You know, stuck out a lot. If you're wearing white in a black area, you know you're going to stick out. So probably nothing there. Scary enough to show on YouTube. Okay, here we go, slow motion. You can kind of see some movement, eyes peeking out. But the shape, overall shape, is interesting. Take it for what you will. They look timid. They look scared. Unusual behavior. Typically, they wouldn't hide in front of a tree. They'd hide behind a tree. So. But cute. Nice pose. This is, of course, stabilized. I use Power Director. Stabilized in. Zoomed in. Okay, here's the famous 2018 video. There was something in the blind that had noted before. People said it was a marten, but martens have ears on the side of their head. The black part in the middle, that is actually part of the stump. Either by cunning or by chance, it looks like a nose. It was a 27-second piece of video that I discovered 3 months later. Reviewing video has become more important to me at this point. So I'd say it's an animal that's staring at me from that blind. Now you add that to the activity, you can make an assumption that this is something special here. It's just amazing how they do their camouflage. And well, as I said before, I really appreciate them coming close, using kind of habitational advantage to not do anything disruptive. You know, you're trying to let them into your life and at the same time not get pulverized by by an angry guy. So don't make him mad, man. Just be cool. You know who you are. You have to be careful out there. All right.